Eternity Code has not yet been released in the US, and we still have no official word as to when we're able to return to competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. However, regardless, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players have been making waves in the various online tournaments going on recently. There was this one tournament called the Luxury Championship Series, and in that tournament, Sky Strikers just happened to win because that build of Sky Strikers was playing Halqifibrax, Selene, as well as Access Code Talker. And not too long before that, Adamancipator won SEMO's sponsored Crush Card Cup tournament. Sure, even though we don't have in real life competitive events right now, players are still able to take advantage of the recently released Dual Overload and Secret Slayer sets and make their mark on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta. But it is that time once again for another Banlist update to shape the game for the better. And with another update on the way, I do want to debut my own series on this channel regarding the Yu-Gi-Oh! Banlist. Sure, the title is unoriginal and it has been used several times before, but I couldn't think of a better title that helps me illustrate what this Banlist series is all about. Instead of giving my Banlist predictions, which a lot of people out there would eventually misconstrue as facts, which they're in fact not, I want to give my opinions, or rather Banlist wishes, as to which cards I want to see get moved onto, off of, or within the ban list. So before I get started, if you guys enjoy discussion videos like this and you want to help support the channel, then be sure to like the video, subscribe, and ring the bell for the latest updates. With that being said, here's my first episode of my Banlist Wishlist. Let's get this out of the way right now. Crystron Halqifibrax is a hugely splashable card. Not only is it good at Adamancipator as you would imagine, but Ryan Yu decided to run Halqifibrax in his winning build of Sky Strikers for the Luxury Championship Series. Now, I may not know completely how the link climb into Access Code Talker using Halqifibrax would work, but I imagine it to be something like this. First, you get out a Sky Striker monster, whether it be your token or a Ray or Rose, as well as a tuner like Jet Synchron, for example. And then what you can do is that you can link those off into Crystron Halqifibrax, bring out your Effect Veiler, and since Effect Veiler is a spellcaster, which also happens to be a tuner, then you can link those off into Selene, the Link 3 monster. I forgot the complete name of that. But anyway, you get out Selene, and then since Jet Synchron is in your graveyard, then you can revive it using its effect, and then you can use both Selene as well as Jet Synchron to link summon your Access Code Talker. Of course, you can link off your Sky Striker monster first and go into pretty much all of your Sky Striker monsters of each attribute, each available attribute actually. And that way, when you finally reach your Access Code Talker, you can banish those Sky Striker link monsters from your graveyard in order to pop cards on your opponent's field. I could go on for a while, but I think we've seen enough proof that Crystron Halqifibrax should eventually get banned. If not on the next Banlist update, then probably the update after that. Speaking of Jet Synchron, that's another card that I want to include in this episode. A tuner that special summons itself from the graveyard. Sound familiar? Well, it should, because it's pretty much as generic as Glow Up Bulb. So I think that for the better of the game, Jet Synchron should also get banned. Another card that I want to discuss that has a lot of people talking as well is Block Dragon. Just like Halqifibrax, I think this card needs to get banned as well. Of course, it works well with Adamancipator, but it has been seeing a lot of play in Burning Abyss builds before Dual Overload even got released. And you can also imagine players incorporating this card into Gem Knight / Gem Knight FTK decks. So I think that for the better of the game, I think Black Dragon should eventually get banned. Now, when it came to what should happen to Dinosaurs on the next update, the two cards that actually came to mind were Soul Eating Oviraptor and Baby Ceratosaurus. But after some thinking, I decided, you know what? People should be given the opportunity to try out Animadored Archosaur with Baby Ceratosaurus in their dinosaur decks. One of the major problems that I do have with Dinosaurs, however, is not being able to respond to any of their plays. And so, I decided to include Miscellaneousaurus on this list, and therefore I think Miscellaneousaurus should either get banned or limited. Not only can you discard it from your hand in order to prevent your opponent from responding to any of your plays, you can also banish the card from your graveyard and then use it to special summon Soul Eating Oviraptor, for example, from your deck. And since we're on the subject of not being able to respond to plays, The one card that I'm thinking of right now that should get banned when it comes to the invoked archetype is Magical Meltdown. You activate the card, you can search out for your Alistair the Invoker, normal summon it, and then search your deck for Invocation. It's basically a one-card invoked engine. I'd like to compare Miscellaneous Saurus and Magical Meltdown to multi-roll for Sky Strikers. It's no fun when you're not able to respond to anything that your opponent does when it comes to Miscellaneous Saurus, Meltdown, as well as multi-roll. Another tactic that I think is pretty unfair when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! Is your opponent being able to rip cards out of your hand before you even get to play them. As I think about it, it does seem weird to go after a bunch of cards at once that rip cards out of your opponent's hand. But I think a good place to start is to ban Moulin Glacier, the Elemental Lord. Since this card can be searched out with Atlantean Dragoons, and since you're able to get at least 5 water monsters in your graveyard, eventually with Mermails or Atlanteans or Deep Sea, whichever deck comes first for you, you're able to special summon Moulin Glacier and discard 2 random cards from your opponent's hand. It may not make a big impact on water decks that much, but like I said, it is a pretty good place to start. Another card that I do want to see get banned when it comes to ripping cards out of the hand is a Pointer of the Red Lotus. Basically, what you can do with this card is that you can pay 2,000 life points, look at your opponent's entire hand, and then take out pretty much any card that they have. Some people could say that a Pointer is good since you're able to take out any card that they might use against you, like Dark Ruler No More, while others could say that this is bad since it could take out pretty much one card that could help you create a decent board. The best proof that I can give you guys right now when it comes to wishing that a Pointer of the Red Lotus should get banned is by looking at the ban list. For those of you who think that a Pointer should not get banned, take a look at Confiscation and the Forceful Sentry. They are all generic cards that let you rip cards out of your opponent's hand. Think about that recent rule that we got where players no longer have to let their opponents look through their hands or decks after unsuccessfully resolving a card like a Mind Crush. People turn to a Pointer of a Red Lotus in order to gain as much knowledge of their opponent's hand as possible. If this card does not get banned, then people are probably going to turn to this card more than ever before. The last card for this episode that I would like to see get banned is Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. Now, the main reason why I'm including this here is that because, well, I'm kind of tired of seeing boards where you can basically end on this card. Now, there are people out there who say that this card is not really that big of a deal because we have Nibiru as well as Dark Ruler No More in order to deal with it. However, are you one of those people who is just tired of seeing an end board with this card on the field? If you have 4 materials being used for this Link Monster, then this Link Monster gains 4 counters and therefore 4 negates during your opponent's turn. But like I said at the beginning of this video, this is not necessarily a fact that is going to happen or a prediction. This is simply my opinion. If you guys want to defend Appaloosa, then be sure to let me know down in the comments why you think Appaloosa is fine where it is right now. So those are the cards that I would like to see get banned. Now, to start off the cards that I would like to see be given a little more love, I'm going to start with Thunder Dragon Colossus. With all the combo decks out there that do a lot of searching, such as with Heroes or Atlantean Dragoons for water decks, or with Adamancipator or rock decks with Block Dragon, and you can also talk about Burning Abyss too. I think the best way to put a check on those decks that do a lot of searching is to limit Thunder Dragon Colossus. It's very difficult to deal with when it came to dealing with 3 copies of Colossus, but I think Colossus is fine when it comes to just putting only 1 into the game. Another deck that I would love to be shown a little more love is Altergeist. In fact, I was hoping to bring you guys an Altergeist deck profile sometime last year, but let's just say that a lot of things got in the way. Anyway, by the time I bring you guys another Altergeist deck profile, hopefully we'll get another copy of Multifaker. Let's put Multifaker back at least 2 copies per deck. 3 if it's even better. The most recent history that I can think of when it comes to Altergeist is the deck winning the Pro Play Tour Invitational last year, as well as the deck winning a YCS in Australia when Thunder Dragons were still a top contender. Altergeists are a decent control deck, but it doesn't really shatter the meta in any way, so I think another copy of Altergeist is just fine with me. And last but not least, This is probably one of my favorite cards of all time, even though I never really got to play it since I was still building the deck. And it got banned by the time I was able to build the Pendulum deck. I think Perform a Palace Skullcrobat Joker should be given at least one copy back. Simply put, since Servant of Endymion is limited and Heavy Metal Foes Electromite is banned, and therefore Pendulums are no longer a meta deck at the moment, I would love to see Pendulums be given a little more love, and therefore, let's see Skullcrobat Joker come back to 1, at least. So that's it for my first episode of Banlist Wishlist, everybody. What do you guys think about my wishes? If you guys have any wishes for what should happen on a future ban list, then let me know down in the comments. And I might feature them in my next Banlist Wishlist episode. So that's it from here, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to help support the channel, then be sure to like the video. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you stay updated on my latest Yu-Gi-Oh videos. And don't forget to use my TCG player affiliate link in the description below, so that way you can support the channel as you buy the cards that you want. This has been the Mage of Ancients. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you again.